Tappei has just released Arc 8 Chapter 47, and this video will be a summary of the chapter. Highly recommend you check out my Arc 8 Chapter 46 summary. Anyways, let's begin. Tanza, like Subaru, hated Wallachia. The people are encouraged to be stronger. Those who are not are oppressed accordingly. And if they lose their lives, they are simply told that it's their fault for being weak. Nobody can choose how they are born. Tanza nor anyone were born into Wallachia because they wanted it. Tanza asks Yona if she hates Wallachia. Yona at the time freezes and holds Tanza's back. The warmth of her fingers remind Tanza of her lost sister. Tanza's sister lost her life without knowing happiness. So do I, Yona states. Tanza was confused. Tanza gasped, realizing it was stated by one of the 9 divine generals. I too hate the way the country is. Yona confided her true feelings to Tanza. The scene changes. Please let me go to Yona. Tanza knew she was being selfish and expected to be told off. However, Subaru agrees, saying that it was his plan. The scene changes. Yona-sama. The shock of the blade shook her body. Tanza was protected by the attack by Emilia. Tanza carried an ice shield in her pocket, a sort of amulet which took the brunt of the attack. Emilia tells the Rowans to disperse. Emilia places her hand out and ice sprouts from the ground. The Rowans ducked, sliced through the ice, and some of them jumped away, but only a few of them were able to choose the correct answer. Over 20 Rowans were frozen. Tanza would like to praise Emilia, but she had something to do. Telling Yona she is glad to see her again. Tanza hugs Yona, who is kneeling down. This is the first time Tanza hugged Yona like this. People like Natsuki Schwartz or Cecilis can do whatever they want, even if they are children. Being a child might be an obstacle, but it is not a reason to give up. Tanza states she will deal with the ruffian who harmed Yona. Rowan looks at Tanza, but Emilia confronts him with the ice mallet. Rowan parries the strike, and Emilia states that she will let Tanza spend some more time with Yona. Tanza tries to join Emilia, but Emilia declines, saying that she has been asked to do this by Subaru. Emilia then pulls out 2 ice swords. Upon hearing Subaru's name, Tanza stammers. Rowan charged forwards, meeting Emilia in close combat, but Emilia chants a spell, Icicle Line, causing icicles to rain down above. Rowan thought it was going to be a sword fight, so he was shocked to be hit with ice. Yona calls out Tanza's name. Of course she is shocked. It's been 2 months, and of course Yona might have assumed that Tanza died. Tanza says that she is safe and has come back to Yona. Tanza's eyes, which were black, peered at Yona. It's been 2 months, so Tanza had surely grown. However, Yona had also changed. Yona was in a dress rather than her kimono. She was also not wearing her ornaments. The inhabitants of Chaos Flame would cut off their body parts and present them to Yona as an ornament to show their love for her. Yona was usually clothed with these ornaments. Among one of those ornaments was a comb carved from Tanza's sister's horn. Yona reaches out, but instead of taking Tanza's cheek, she simply pushes Tanza away, causing Tanza to be shocked. Tanza understands that this is rejection. Yona asks why she is here, as this is not a place for the living, as it is a land of the dead. Yona states there is something she must do, someone to be with again. Tanza looks into Yona's eyes. They always had a sense of longing. Yona had always been searching for something. Something like a star that Yona could not reach. Big and far away that Tanza could not measure. Something shining and twinkling that you can't reach. They all knew Yona was searching for something, and now she had found it. She had reached the stars. This is the reason why she was being held in the royal capital. Tanza, however, reaches out and grabs Yona's arm, stating that if Yona wants to reject her, to be happier when doing it. Tanza knows that Yona is a poor liar. The scene changes. Tanza grabs her white wrist. She has changed a lot. She had an ideal image of herself, to be like her sister, Zoe, who had died. Zoe was a strong-minded and kind-hearted woman. Tanza's birthplace was destroyed by thieves who believed that the horns of their people had magical cure-all properties. So they were hunted down. Tanza's parents were killed, and Tanza and Zoe escaped. However, Zoe's misfortune didn't end there. The thieves would catch up. The weak were preyed upon, as is the tradition of the Valachian Empire. Zoe tells Tanza to not curse others, as those who curse others are also easily cursed themselves. The sisters had to keep moving, running and running. They heard about Chaos Flame, the Demon Sea, a paradise of outcasts. The leader did not allow weaklings to be oppressed. Tanza thought it was ridiculous. There couldn't be such a convenient person, she thought. If there was, why had her parents died? Why does her sister have to keep going through so much? The scene changed. You did your best, Zoe, Tanza, the woman in the kimono stated. The woman took them up into the castle. This was when Tanza heard her sister cry for the first time. She didn't cry when her parents died. Tanza watched Zoe crying, who was clinging to Yona's chest. Tanza, seeing this, also cried. Tanza knew deep down she could never lose this paradise, this woman, Yona. Zoe, who was given food and shelter and dressed in a kimono, looked extremely beautiful. Zoe worked hard and was able to work for Yona. Tanza also wished to be able to serve Yona in the future. 2 years later, her sister died. She was a part of a mission to guide the demi-humans to the city of Chaos Flame in Yona's name. Upon coming back, they passed near a fortress of Imperial soldiers, and so they were attacked. Zoe was killed without a second thought. She was tortured and her corpse was exposed, antlers cut off. Tanza's heart was broken as the words of her sister telling her to not curse other people rang in her mind. Do you hate this country? Tanza asks Yona. I too hate it, Yona replies. Tanza wanted to be like her sister. With that, the scene changes. Lady Yona saved my sister, Tanza says. Yona, hearing this, shudders. Yona mouths the name Zoe, and Tanza says her wish had been fulfilled. After Zoe was killed, and the rebellion that followed after was settled, Tanza asked to serve in Zoe's place, and that wish was granted. Tanza says that Yona loves them. If she had not, then the power of the soul marriage technique, which is shared with Tanza, would not work, as it only works with those you love. However, there is also the idea of self-love and self-affirmation. What happens if Yona fails to love herself due to the actions she has taken? The 9 Divine General was currently being beaten by a random swordsman. If Yona doesn't love herself or believe in herself, she cannot win. The idea of Yona wanting to stay in the capital is a lie, a fake love. Tanza states that Yona can only fake that love, as her left eye emerges in a blue flame, showcasing Yona's love without any doubt. Tanza touches Yona's cheek and says that Yona always helped her and others. Emilia calls out to Tanza. Tanza can hear the sounds of footsteps meaning that one of the Rowans got past her. Rowan tells Tanza to move, as this is the stage he has dreamt for. He swings his sword, aiming to slash Tanza and Yorna in half. Yorna tries to push Tanza out of the way, but Tanza stays still, turning around and facing Rowan, asking if this is the stage of his dream. The sword is swung, and Tanza blocks the attack with her arm. The soul marriage technique is spread to the things Yorna loves. If you are loved, and there is no doubt, the effect is great. Tanza then proceeds to punch Rowan in the face. This is the answer of Tanza. No more standing still, because a painful and lovely reality awaits her. This is no time to stand still in order to reach the stars. And with that, the chapter ends. So it was quite a good chapter. We got more backstory on Tanza and her sister. We finally found out that her sister's name was called Zoe. But yeah, hopefully we get the Rowan fight soon and we can move on with the main plot.